Hi everyone, welcome to my live creative time today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome to another week of creativity. I feel like I need to shuffle over this way a little bit. Welcome. I have got a beautiful card to share with you today. It's going to be a rustic type theme today, so I hope that you will enjoy that. We will get started in a moment. I'm just going to pull up this live stream on my other devices so I can see everybody's comments. So bear with me while I get that all ready. Okie dokie. I'll turn that way and refresh the screen. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, iPad is set up. Let's get it over here on the computer as well. How is everyone today? How was your weekend? Let me know. Hopefully you had a lovely weekend. There we go. Okay. I had a pretty quiet one. Actually, no classes this past weekend. So had lots and lots of classes going on, lots of classes coming up, but not the weekend just been. I actually had a weekend off from classes, but doing a lot of preparation and things, and actually was making up also some card kits from previous classes that I had left over from card buffets. And yeah, so I'll be able to use some of those, which will be awesome. So yeah, let me know what you've been crafting lately. Have you been playing with some of the new products? Have you got some of those new mini catalog products? Or have you been playing with some of the other products that you have in your stash? Let me know in the comments. As you're jumping in, say hi, let me know where you are watching from. Thank you to everybody who is here live with me today. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for coming back and watching the replay. And thank you to all my YouTube followers as well. If you're watching over there on YouTube, I do upload all of my videos over there to YouTube. Facebook only holds them for 30 days now. So once they disappear over here on Facebook, you'll always be able to find them over on YouTube. So if ever you want to come back and see them, that's where they will be. So, what else was I going to tell you? Something else. I can't remember what it was. I just had a brain block. It's all good. It's all good. All right. If you're not yet following me over on my other social channels, I'm on Pinterest. I'm on YouTube, as I already mentioned, Facebook, Instagram, all the places. I have a blog as well. Feel free to follow me over on all of those. And if you would like to keep up to date with all of the latest Stampin' Up news and my classes, weekly creative inspiration, well, most weeks, yeah, if you would like all of that, then please feel free to subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't yet already. I'll hold up my little sign. You will see it back to front though, so it's probably a bit hard to read it back to front because I can't flip the screen in this orientation, but it's Mandy's Papercraft Creations.blogspot.com. And if you go there, there is a subscribe button over on the left hand side when you first go into my blog. I'll pop all of my links in the description in a moment as well, or in the comments here on Facebook, and they will be in the description on YouTube as well. So that if you want to subscribe that way, you can go via that link, and you'll see all of my classes there, my shopping pages there, my links to my other social medias, and everything is all there in the one place. So it's easy to find. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoy the things that I share with you. And yeah, if there's ever anything that you would like to see, please let me know in the comments. So, hey Leslie, how are you? Lovely to have you here this afternoon. Thanks for joining me. So, yeah, so we have, in Stampin' Up, we've got a very exciting time at the moment, and you have probably already heard, unless you haven't been on social media much lately, but Stampin' Up has an amazing starter kit offer. Only $60 here in Australia. And you can choose up to $235 worth of product for your starter kit. Like $60. to join the Stampin' Up community and join my beautiful team. We'd love to have you. If you're here in Australia and you are looking for a team to join, we would love to welcome you into my beautiful Papercraft Gems team. So come on over and join the fun. We would love to have you. But yeah, only $60 and you get to choose $235 worth of product. So that's $175 worth of product in for free that you get in your starter kit. Plus you get free shipping on that starter kit purchase as well. And then you get an ongoing 20% discount as long as you remain current with Stampin' Up. So that is amazing. Who doesn't want 20% discount on their beautiful Stampin' Up products? I know I love my discount. And also too, whenever there is a promotion, like a sale, like recently we had the stamp set sale, or a stamp sets and stamping tools, I think it was, sale. So we were able to get the discount that was already running for the promotion. Plus then we get our demonstrator discount on top of that as well. So very fun. We're actually using one of those stamp sets that I purchased today in today's project, because I was able to order a whole heap of new stamp sets. So I'm slowly getting through using those. So I'm excited to share that with you today. There is another offer if you want to add more items, or maybe some of those big items like some of the big die bundles, or some of the more expensive suites or things like that, or even a large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You might want to think about this one. So $169 is all you'll pay. That's the usual joining offer, $169, but usually you only get to choose $235 worth of product. But at the moment, in October, you get to choose $344 worth of product, which is amazing. So you can get a new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then you'd still have another $100 to play with to put extra things in your cart. So you've got the two options. So you can choose the $60 option, which is very affordable, or $169 if you've got a little bit more in your budget. So totally up to you. But if you'd like more information about that, then feel free to get in contact with me, and I'd love to answer all of your questions. But we have a beautiful crafting community in our team, and in the wider Stampin' Up community as well. You get access to both. So that is super awesome. And there's so many other perks as well of joining. But that ongoing discount is amazing, because it means you can either save yourself money or stock up on the products that you want to put into your craft room, or both really, because you'll be able to stock up and you'll be saving as you do it. So it's a great time to join. So come on and join us. We would love to have you come and join the fun. All right. So if you have any further questions about that, feel free to get in contact with me, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. The best way to do that is either via email, or you can give me a text or a call. You'll find all of my details in my bio, or here on Facebook in my details up the top of my business page. But yeah, my email address is mandyspapercraftcreations@gmail.com. So you can feel free to email me there. All right, now I've got a couple of classes coming up. They're both being advertised at the moment, so there's a bit of an overlap in advertising, but they are both being held on different dates, and they're both going to be awesome fun classes. So if you are in Sydney, feel free to come and join us, or if you'd like to travel to Sydney to come and join us, feel free to do that too. I've got a scrapbooking and card class. I'm calling it Christmas Layout and a Card class. It's coming up on Saturday the 8th of November. The registrations are closing on the 24th, which is this week. What day? Friday this week. The registrations for that one will be closing. We're going to be making a double page spread and a card as well, using the Traditions of Christmas suite, and some extra products as well. So it's going to be really beautiful. So if you would like to scrapbook some of your Christmas memories, then this is a great one for you. I'm going to make a Christmas card as well that you can then use to send out for Christmas. So give you some ideas. So this is going to be a fun one. Come and join. The registration You'll find the registration via my website, and you can also find my contact details via my website too, by the way, or I will put the link in the comments in a moment, but I've got another class too. So these two are two new classes that I haven't offered before, which I'm very excited about. And this is the other one, Mandy's Cards and Cookies class. So I'm really excited about this one. This one's starting on the 1st of November. It's going to be a Saturday morning class, just a 2-hour class, this one, 10 till 12. It's $45 per person, and you are welcome to come along no matter your skill level, or if you haven't even started card making yet but you would like to learn. This is a great class for you. It's based around the kits collection that Stampin' Up has. I've got a whole heap of kits on display. You can come, you can choose whichever of those kits you would like to create with. So you might want to choose 1 kit or 2 kits or more than that. You'd be so welcome to come and join us for that one as well. So if you're new to card making, this is a great one for you. If you've been card making for a long time but you just want to gather with friends and just have a fun crafting time and put together some easy to create cards, then this is a great one for you as well. So it is for everyone. So please come and join us. The registration for this one is also closing on the 24th. Is that right? The 24th? Reading that back to front? Yes. So they're both closing on the same day. They're both closing on Friday. So be sure to register for those if you'd like to come and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let me pop all those links down in the comments for you here on Facebook, and over on YouTube they will be in the description. So you can grab all of those there. Hang on, let me grab my keyboard. Oh, why did I leave it over there? Okay. There we go. Okay, all those links are in the comments for you. All right. Hey, Laurie, all the way from Ohio. You caught me live today. Fantastic. Great to have you with us. How are things over there in Ohio? How's the weather over there? What's happening over there? How have you been? I feel like I haven't seen you here. I know you've been watching some of the replays, but I haven't seen you live for a little while. So you've obviously been very, very busy. But it's great to have you back with us today. Fantastic. All right, so as I mentioned with those joining offers, that is global. The prices I showed were just the Australian prices, but of course in each of the countries where Stampin' Up is, it's, you know, a different price depending on the market that you are in. So check with your demonstrator, yeah, if you would like to join. Okay, so today you'll notice I've got all my sunflowers on, my sunflowers and my daisies, because we're going to be doing some rustic cards using some beautiful florals, and I'll show you the stamp set, and you're going to get a sneaky peek of one of the cards that we made in Card Buffet. And I actually have another Christmas card buffet coming up next Wednesday, but the registrations have closed now for that one, so you're going to get a sneaky peek. So if you are booked in to come to the card buffet, you might, I'll give you a heads up, you might want to look away so you don't get a spoiler of the card, one of the cards we're making. Well, it's one of the cards that are on offer to make, because we have 8 different cards in my card buffet, and people that come along can choose to make 4 of those 8, so whichever 4 that they like, and then if they want any additional ones, they can purchase them and take them home to create. So this is the stamp set we're using today, the beautiful Rustic Centrepiece. I know you're seeing it back to front at the moment, but I will show it down on the desk as well so you see it around the right way. But this is just so beautiful, and we've got a little Christmas one here with a Christmas tree and a reindeer, and then we've got these 2 here that are very generic that can be used all year round, which I love. And I love the rustic theme, of course, as well, because most of you know that my favorite style is rustic, and I feel like I haven't been doing many rustic cards lately, apart from one for the Christmas card buffet, but I haven't been doing as many of them lately, so it's time to do some more, I think. Oh, Laurie, raining and damp and chilly over there in Ohio. Oh, right, okay. Oh, it's lovely to have you too, Laurie. I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, so you guys must be heading into your winter, I'm guessing. We are heading into our summer, which will start, well, it's still spring at the moment, but we'll be heading into, is that right? Yeah, summer, autumn, winter, spring. Yes. Had to double check then. Oh my goodness. Yes, but it's starting to warm up, and today is actually really warm. I had to go out to the post office this morning, and it's actually quite warm. It's 36 degrees Celsius today. I don't know what that conversion is in Fahrenheit. Maybe someone can check that for me and pop it in the comments. But 36 degrees Celsius, so it's quite warm out there for an October day. But yeah, I believe it is going to get a bit cooler again later in the week. All right, well, how about we get crafting? I've got to be quick today because I've got a meeting at 6 o'clock. So I've got to make sure I get this project done quickly. So let's tip the camera down, and I will share with you what we're going to be creating. And I've got a couple of other samples to share with you as well. So here we go. I'm going to cover up the camera while I tip it down, just so I don't make you all dizzy during the transition. Here we go. Okay. Now things will get a little bit squeaky for a moment while I just adjust my stand. To make sure I do everything up very tightly so it doesn't drop. I've actually got to adjust that. That's not quite right. There we go. My little spirit level ready. Okay, lights, and let's do a flippity flip. Here we go. And a zoomy zoom. There we go. All right, I'll move the keyboard. We don't need that now. And straighten this all up. Whoop. All right, check if I've got that level. Not quite. I love my new little spirit level. It's such a great little tool. Sorry, everyone. The stand is a little bit temperamental sometimes. Oops. There we go. Alrighty. That should be, hopefully, fairly level. Okay. Great. Oops. Bumped my iPad there. Okay. Here we go. So let's have another look at the stamp set. Here we go. So this is the one here. Move that down a little bit and over. The Rustic Centrepiece. So this is a cling red rubber stamp. Now Stampin' Up is going to be stopping production of the cling red rubber stamps. They're just moving to fully photopolymer as of the next release. The next release, which will be in November. There will still be some red rubber stamps that are sold until the inventory runs out. So this one was probably one of the last ones that have been produced in red rubber, but it will still be available until, yeah, stock runs out. So the images on the front are shown at 75%, so they look quite small on the front, but when you open up the case, you see how big they actually are. See how big they are against my hand there. Oh, thanks, Leslie. So 37 degrees, what did I say it was? 37 degrees? 36 degrees, 37 I think. Is 96.8 Fahrenheit. Yes, so that's quite warm. Yes, Laurie says they're in fall, which we call here autumn. And you dread what comes next. Oh, yeah. Do you get snow there, Laurie, in Ohio in the winter? Where I live, we don't actually get snow here, but up in the mountains, they get a little bit of snow. It gets quite cold up there. And where they have the ski fields are a fair way away. They're about 6 hours drive. 5 to 6 hours south of us. Oh, I said 36, did I, Leslie? Oh, thank you. I couldn't remember if I said 36 or 37. Yeah, I think it was 36. I mean, I think it was, I know I said 36, but I think it was 36 when I went out. All right, so today, the stamp set the stamp, the actual stamp from the stamp set that we're using is this one here with the flowers. Hence why I'm wearing my sunflowers today, because we've got some beautiful little sunflower. Well, I'm not sure if they're sunflowers or if they're daisies, because they kind of look a bit smaller than a sunflower. They might be some type of daisy or something, but yeah, anyway, I thought my brooches really went well today with that. So I'll show you a couple of samples. I've just popped that one on the block. I'm using the large E block to fit those stamps on, because they're quite large. Now I have got one of the cards to show that we're making in our Christmas card buffet. We made it last weekend. Was it last weekend that we had Christmas card buffet, or the weekend before that? And I've got the repeat class on Wednesday of next week. So if you don't want to see it, close your eyes now. But this is one of the choices of what they can create. So it's this beautiful one here. I'll take it out of the plastic so you can see it, because the plastic reflects a lot. There we go. So we've got the beautiful reindeer and the Christmas tree. I've used the birch wood embossing folder in the background here, which I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up very well. And then we've got some designer series paper here, which I've ink distressed, and I've done some ink distressing on each of the layers there as well. So that's one of the projects using the stamp set, the Rustic Centrepiece stamp set. Really, really love this one for Christmas, with the little reindeer. A little rustic reindeer and the little Christmas tree. So that's the first sample. Oh, thank you, Laurie. Thank you. Oh, yes, you do get snow there. Not as much as you used to, but it gets very cold. And the older you get, the more you dislike the cold. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I know. It brings out the aches and pains a bit too, doesn't it? I find that as well. All right, and then I've also got this sample here using this one as well with the succulents. So look how different they look. Same sort of layout, but this stamp's a little bit smaller, so I've used a different size die. The dies that we're using are the textured note dies, these ones. I've got one out there. I've taken one out of there that we're using for the class. I've already got that out in the class tub. Used a different DSP here, and used some, instead of the embossing folder, we used the wood designer series paper for this one. So love how different they are. And then today we're doing another colorway. Same idea, same layout, very easy layout, very, very simple. So this is a really easy card to put together. But today, believe it or not, we're going to be using some of the paper from the Painterly Pears. I always want to say pearls. Painterly Pears designer series paper. So if you've seen this one, I won't pull the whole pack out, but if you've seen this one, this paper is gorgeous. And I probably can't, I don't know if I'll be able to get my fingers in there to flick now. It's not wanting to flick. But this is really beautiful paper. Just show you. And the one we're going to be using today is actually this one here with those little yellow blossoms, because I thought they'll go beautiful with the flowers. So we're going to be using some of that. We're also going to be using some more of the Country Woods designer series paper. I really loved how that came up on the card with this rustic sort of look stamp set. This DSP goes beautiful. This is mine and Amber's favourite. Oops, there's my washi tape. This is mine and Amber's favourite DSP. We keep coming back to this one all the time. So it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I've gone and done some of the steps ahead of time. I will have all of the measurements up on my blog for you later in the week. But for now, to make it quicker, I have prepped all of these pieces. So I've got a crumb cake cardstock. You love this stamp too, Leslie. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? And the cards that you showed me that you made with it as well are also very beautiful. So it just makes such beautiful cards, and it's really easy to create beautiful cards with this stamp set. So half a sheet of A4 cardstock, or whatever is in your measurements, just cut across the length of it. So you've got your card base. Then we've got a piece of the Country Woods Designer Series paper. So we're going to use this side here. I've already cut that to size, and I've actually cut that to the same size as the card base. So that's 10.5 by 14.85 centimeters. Then I've got a strip of the Designer Series paper, which is 14.85, and I can't remember the width, 4.5 centimeters wide. So that's your painterly pears. Then we've got a piece of Darling Duckling, and I've already die cut the piece of Very Vanilla with the textured notes, and I used the second largest one. I'll just show you. I did all of that ahead of time because otherwise it takes time to cut and prep all of those pieces. So I used that one, the second largest one, just with the Very Vanilla. Okay. So sometimes I like to stamp first and then die cut around the stamped image, and other times I die cut first and then stamp the image. So it depends on the project that I'm creating as to which way I do it. Alrighty. So, hang on, I'm just going to pop that one over there. Alright, so what we're going to do, we'll do our stamping first. I've got all my bits and pieces. Now I'm going to use some of the watercolor pencils today. Stampin' Up have got 2 sets of watercolor pencils in Stampin' Up colors. So I've got the original 2 sets, and I believe that I'm not sure which set it is, but they've got some different colors in some of them now because of some of the previous colors had retired. But I've got still the old original ones, but I'll let you know what colors I'm using as I use them. But I'm just going to pop them there. If you want to, you can also, oh, I've got an extra old olive. Did I need that extra old olive? No. If you want to, you can also use a blender pen to give more of a watercolor effect on your card if you want to. I'm probably not going to use that today. I'm just going to use the pencils, but you can definitely use the blender pen with it as well. And I've got a blending brush that I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending just to soften the colors a little bit. Okay, so I'll pop that over to the side. I'll grab my inks. So today I'm just using 2 colors. I'm using Early Espresso and Crumb Cake. If you don't have Early Espresso, you could use a black ink pad. You could use the Memento Tuxedo Black, but the Early Espresso goes really nice with the color tones that we're going to be using today. All right, so let's start with stamping our image. So because this image is larger, actually I'm just going to move that over while I ink. Because this stamped image is larger than the ink pad, I'm actually going to take the ink pad to the stamp rather than the stamp to the ink pad. And we're just going to tap, tap, tap. I'm not pushing the ink into the stamp because I don't want to end up with a halo of ink around there or get ink in any of these cutout areas here, because it'll leave, you know, yucky marks, inky marks on our image, and we don't want that. All right. Okay, so we're going to stamp onto our image here. I actually don't have any grid paper underneath, so hopefully this is going to fit. I'm just going to position it slightly over to the left-hand side so I've got room for my sentiment. And because it's a large stamp, we're just going to give that a nice firm press for a moment and just let that ink absorb into the cardstock. Beautiful, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So stunning. All right, I'll close that up. And I'll grab some scrap paper. Hang on a sec. Oh, little bit of grid paper here that I had used previously for something else, and we'll just get that excess ink off there, and then I'll clean that on my chamois. I wanted to actually show you, I'm just going to show you something while I just set this aside to let that ink dry for a moment. You know, normally I use my chamois, right? It's my favorite cleaning tool. After my classes, I often use my Stampin' Scrub, because with lots of people using my stamps for classes, they tend to get, you know, a little bit inky, and sometimes some of the photopolymer ones, and when we're using really deep pigmented colors, they get quite stained. So I like to give them a really deep clean after class. So what I do is with my Stampin' Scrub, if you've never seen a Stampin' Scrub, I thought I'd quickly show it today. So there's two sides. You have one side that is a wet side and one side that is a dry side. You'll notice I've got mine labeled so that I always make sure I'm using the same side for the wet side. You can take your Stampin' Mist, which you can purchase from Stampin' Up. This is an old bottle. It comes in a larger bottle now, but this is an old small bottle, which is very handy for travel. Just spray that on your wet side. Okay, give a few. And these come out as well. You can slip these out. They've got little lugs at the top that just hold them in place, but you can slip them out and run them under the laundry tap to, or under the kitchen, in the kitchen sink, and wash the ink out of them. But then you give this a scrub on here on the wet side, and you'll see it foam up a little bit. Okay, that gives it a really good deep clean, and because you've got these microfibers here, they get into all of the little nooks and crannies in your stamp. And then take it over to the dry side to give it a dry off. Now that Stampin' Mist also does condition your stamps, so you can just leave it at that and then continue on with it. If I am using a photopolymer stamp though, I do like to clean any cleaning fluids off the polymer so it doesn't break down the polymer as well. So then I usually just take it to my Stampin' Scrub, which just has water in it, and I just give it a little wipe on that as well. Okay, and then you've got a beautifully clean stamp. Okay, now some of the photopolymer stamps will still be a little bit stained. You probably won't get as much staining with the red rubber, but as I said, red rubber is going away. But yeah, if your photopolymer gets a little bit stained, don't panic, because it will still work, and so long as you look after your stamps and clean them well, etc., they will last you a really, really long time. All right, let's do a little bit of colouring of our stamp here. So we can achieve different colour variations. Just going to put my glasses on so that I can see. I'm going to just come in first with my, I'm going to do my leaves first. I'm going to come in with a little bit of Old Olive. Now, if you leave a little bit of white space on your leaves as well, it can look like the reflection of the light. So don't feel that you've got to colour every little section of the leaves, okay? I love that Stampin' Up has added all the little details, all the little shading details, all those extra little lines, which makes our colouring job so much easier because it shows us where all the shadows would be falling. These watercolour pencils have such a soft colour pigment. I don't know if you would say it's a lead, it's not really lead, but yeah, really, really soft and beautiful to colour with. If you haven't used them before, they're awesome. You can also use them with the water painters to do watercolouring, and they come out beautiful with that. If you are using them with water painters though, I would recommend that you stamp your image in StazOn ink, either in the saddle brown or in the black, so that you won't get any of the actual stamped image running when you're using the water painter. Because if I was to use a water painter now on this, this ink would all run because it's water based as well. So make sure you use Stays On ink. I've got the Stays On ink here. So we've got the saddle brown and the jet black. They're also great to use too if you are using the blender pen. But if you are using the blender pen, you can use it with this ink, with the classic Stampin' ink. But you just have to be very careful because the more you use it, the more you'll sort of muddy up the design, because it will actually pull some of the colour from the stamped image because it's also water-based. So there's lots of different colouring techniques you can use with the pencils, which is awesome. So we've got quite a few leaves here. Does anybody else love their watercolour pencils? Let me know in the comments. There we go. All right, and I'm going to colour these little foliage pieces here as well. And these pencils are great just to sharpen just with an ordinary pencil sharpener. So you don't need any special fancy type of sharpener for the watercolor pencils, just your regular sharpener will do. I like to use them a little bit blunt, not too sharp. I find I get a nice softer color that way. There we go. All right, and then we're going to come in with some of the garden greens. This is number 19. Each one of the watercolor pencils actually have a number on them as well as the color. I should have shown you that before too. And they are in Stampin' Up colors, so they will coordinate with all of the other Stampin' Up products. So where all those little lines are in the image, I'm just adding some of the garden green now, just to add a little bit of tone in there. So I'm not colouring as such with this colour, I'm just adding some of the detail there. Laurie says, yes, haven't used them for a while, but you've been colouring with blends. Yes, blends are another great colouring tool as well. So you can use the Stampin' blends for colouring any of your images. So that'd be really nice on these images too, on this with this stamp set. I got the watercolor pencils out for the card buffet because I hadn't really been using them much myself lately either. I'd been using Stampin' blends as well, like you, Laurie. And I thought, you know what, let's get those pencils out because they're so good to use, and they're, you know, people forget about them sometimes, I think, too. So it's good to just remind people that they are a great colouring tool, and they give you such a beautiful effect. Okay, so we are nearly done with the leaves. There we go. So can you see now we're getting a little bit of tone in there? Oops, I think I missed this one up here. So rather than just have a solid color, we've got the different green tones in there, and that really makes a difference. I think I missed this one too. There we go. I think I got them all now. Oh, I think I missed these ones. There we go. So yeah, so when you're doing the detail, it's better to have a slightly sharper pencil, but I like for the colouring, I like to have a more sort of blunt tip. Depends on what you like. All right, now for the flowers, I'm going to start off with the petals in yellow. So this is Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start off in the Daffodil Delight, and then we might add in a little bit of the pumpkin pie, just to give a little bit more of the orangey tones in there as well, and that'll help also to blend in with the oops, oh, I went a bit hard, I just broke my pencil. I said that they were nice and soft. They are very soft. I'll see if I can get that to blunten down a little bit. Now, Amber and I both have different, so those of you who don't know, Amber is my my daughter, and she helps me in my business. She and I have different colouring techniques. She colours, she likes to colour quite heavily, and she's a beautiful colorist. She always does her colouring in so perfectly, and she loves it. She loves colouring. Whereas I tend to go a little bit lighter with the colours, I think, than she does. She tends to go quite deep with her colours. Probably because I'm more impatient. So I'm just like, I just want to get it finished. So she's got a lot more patience with her colouring, I think, than I do. But she does a beautiful, beautiful job. And she's very good at doing all the tone and everything with hers as well. But yeah, everyone has slightly different techniques. There we go. Beautiful. Actually, I might actually go a little bit deeper with this one, because I feel like the other one, the bigger flower, looks a little bit deeper, maybe just because it's bigger. All right, and then we're going to add a little bit of detail with the pumpkin pie. It's number 3. Hey Dimity, how are you? Great to have you with us. So just adding the detail with the pumpkin pie. I'm not adding too much colour, just the detail of all those little lines. I think I'm adding a few of my extra own lines too, but that's okay. Just to get that depth of colour in there. So I love all the rustic stuff. I love rustic, and I love the country style. I love vintage, and I don't know if it's the country girl blood in me. I was brought up in the city, but my parents were from the country. So they both were brought up in rural country Victoria. So I don't know if it's that in me. I don't know why I like it. I just like it. There we go. So now you can see we've got that bit of colour tone in there as well. They're not just plain yellow. Okay, the centres. The centres I will do in a brown. I'll go with Early Espresso to begin with. The centre in my brooch that I'm wearing today, which is a sunflower, is 2 tones of brown. It's sort of a reddy brown, and then an orangey brown, and then a deeper brown right in the center. So we might add in a little bit of, just a little bit of the pumpkin pie around that outer part there, and we'll leave the very center darker. Go back over that center bit again, a bit darker. There we go, very easy to do. Hey Jenny, how are you? Oh, it's very windy down there in Tassie today. Wow, okay. We've got a beautiful day up here in Sydney today. It's been really, actually I'll colour first and then I'll add the detail. It's been really, really warm today and sunny. Yeah, so, oh, there you go. Well, maybe the wind is going to head, I wonder if it's going to head up this way, Jenny. So when I'm doing larger areas like this, I like to use circular motions. But Amber will probably tell you that I'm doing it wrong and that you need to do it in a totally different way. She'll probably go across, I guess she would probably go across the can. I feel like they're in like an old milk can. But this is how I do it. And because the pencils are so soft, you get like a really nice effect. And I guess if you wanted to, you could then go across as well, just to follow those lines, those detail lines with the shading. There we go. All right, so now we've got that colored. So now where the shading is, we're going to go over that with the same color this time, with the basic gray. Yes, thanks Jenny, I am feeling a lot better, thank you. Yes, I had a very, since I had the vertigo on Sunday a week ago, all of last week my head was just very, very sensitive. I feel like it's still a little bit sensitive at times, just to movement and scrolling on the computer actually too, and on my phone. I'm finding it sort of makes me think, oh, I'm feeling a little bit funny again. I hope that's not going to turn into something. So I've been taking more breaks from yeah, my computer and social media and stuff, just so I don't bring on another vertigo attack, because it's not very pleasant. Does anybody else suffer with vertigo? It's not a very nice thing. Interestingly, I actually used to suffer with vertigo. This is hard to believe, but it is the truth. Every single day for 25 years I had vertigo. But I learnt to deal with it and I knew how to manage it. But now, and then one day it just stopped. I just realized one day, wait, I haven't had any vertigo. I haven't been dizzy at all for a while. Don't know why, but I think it's something to do with my neck. And yeah, but now when I do get it, I usually get it once or twice a year. Probably also from my neck, I don't know, but probably. And now they are much worse than what they used to be, because when I used to have it daily, they would last, the room spinning would last like only for a few seconds, and then like a minute at the most, and then it would stop. But now when I get them, it continues for quite some time and it feels awful. So yeah, I don't like it. Now, where's my little, I'm just going to get my, hang on, I want to double check which colors I used for the, where am I, oh, I didn't write it down on that one. Where's the other one? Pretty sure I wrote it down. Hang on one sec. Oh yes, okay. So for the log, I used crushed curry and Cajun, not early espresso. I might add a little early espresso though. I'll see how we go. All right, so Cajun, crushed curry. So we'll use a combo of that. Oh, I think I might have actually used the early espresso around the edges of the other one on this one. Oh no, I used the same too. Yeah, might use it a little, might do them a little bit darker. We'll see how we go. We can add in all the colors. Well, not all the colors, but all the brown colors. So yeah, so anyway, so one day my vertigo just stopped and I don't know why. And it's so interesting because I'd had so many tests done over the years and they could never work out what it was. And then they just, yeah, they just put it down to vertigo. When my second daughter got to the age of 16, so I had that from the time I was 17. No, yes, no. When did I have the first one? Yeah, probably about 17 or something. 25 years it was that I had it every day. And then when my daughter got to 16, she started experiencing it too. And I'm like, oh no, like, is this a hereditary thing? So she had lots of specialist and specialist tests and specialist visits, and she had surgeries, and she had all sorts of things to try and work out hers. Anyway, it wasn't until she moved up to Queensland that they actually discovered, she stumbled upon a vestibular specialist, and he determined that it was actually from her neck. So some of the vertebrae in her neck. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a specialist, I'm just telling you mine and my daughter's personal experience, so please don't hold me to account for anything medical. But yeah, it turned out that the vertebrae in her neck was misaligned, and it was putting pressure on the brainstem, and it was causing her head to spin. And as soon as she got the neck fixed, vertigo went away. So amazing, isn't it? And so now she knows when her neck is going out again, and she gets it fixed straight away, and then she's all good. So yeah, so that's why I'm saying I don't know if mine is from my neck as well. It quite possibly is, but I haven't been to, they do have some of those vestibular specialists here in Sydney, but they're not easy for me to get to from here. So I haven't seen one myself. And every time I go up there, she's like, go and see my guy, he's really good. But yeah, I haven't done that yet. So I'm just adding in a little bit of early espresso. I was feeling like it was a little bit too orangey yellowy kind of color, so I'm just wanting to darken that down a little bit. So this is what I mean about blending the colors. So does anybody else suffer with vertigo? It's quite common, and especially there are different types of vertigo though. There's also positional vertigo. Sorry, I've ended up with quite a medical chat, but it's not a it's just personal experience. As I said, I'm not a specialist, I'm not a doctor. Don't hold me to account for anything medical, just giving you my experience. But yeah, there are different types of vertigo as well. So if anybody else has vertigo, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the same type as what my daughter and I have. So it could be for different reasons. But anyway, but yeah, so my head is much better. Thank you. I also do get migraines as well. I don't know if that's related, but that's also can be a vestibular thing too. There we go. I think that's turned out quite nicely, that coloration. So I used the 3 colors combined together. We've got the crushed curry, the early espresso, and the Cajun craze. So it's ended up more of a lighter wood. You know, when you see logs cut like that, sometimes they can be quite orangey looking. And then as they get older, like I guess that's if the wood is more sort of new and fresh, as they get older, they become much darker. So it depends on what color you want. All right, now for the apples, I've got cherry cobbler and red. I'm going to have red apples. So let's start, well, we could have green apples too, couldn't we? But I think we'll go with the red. So I'm going to go with real red. And then we'll do some detail with the cherry cobbler. So again, I'm using that circular motion on my apples to just give that softer effect. And again, my pencil tip is a little bit more blunt on this one, just so I get that nice softer color. Hey Chris, how are you? Yes, it is very, very hot here today, isn't it? Yep. It's probably even hotter out here because we are away from the coast. So yeah. It's a warm one. I had to go to the post office today and thought, whew, it's hot for October. Oh, even with the air conditioning on, you're still hot. Aww. Oh, thank you. You liking my card? Yeah. This is one of the. This is a version of one of the cards that we did at Card Buffet. So we used one of the other stamps, which was the reindeer one. I think, did you make that one at Card Buffet when you came, Chris? All right, so we've got our red apples. I should have left a little bit of white space actually for the light on the apple. And now I'm going to come in with the cherry cobbler some of the detail on where those shaded areas are. There we go. So the colouring really is the longest portion of the project for this card, because the design of the card is really quite simple. So if you love colouring, this is a great one to use. And you know what, you could sit in front, you could have it all stamped up, and you can sit in front of the TV at night and watch the telly while you are sitting there colouring your images. Let's go over those apples again, make them a little bit deeper in colour. And I'll come back into the stems as well and colour them in early espresso just to make them a bit deeper. There we go. All right, so early espresso, let's give the stems a little bit of early espresso. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. So that's coloured just with the pencils, not using any of the blender pen or anything like that, but you could if you wanted to soften it down a little bit, but I think it looks beautiful just as it is. So that's all done. Now let's bring in our grid paper again. Where did I just put that? Oh, there it is. Grid paper, because we're going to do a little bit of ink blending now. I just want to soften down the vanilla a little bit. Should bring it over that side. So we're using a bit of crumb cake on a blending brush, and we're just going to go around the edges. I love doing this. I love this technique. Love my blending brushes. Who else loves their blending brushes? So when you're inking up your blending brushes, rub it on your ink pad, tap it off a little bit on your cardstock before you take it to your project, or start off, when you're colouring, start off your project to take, if you've got any big blob of colour on there, you don't want to put a big blob of colour onto your project. So start off the page and then use a circular motion and then bring the colour into your project. Okay? Just turn this around a little bit. Got a very small piece of grid paper here that I've trimmed down. I want to make sure I don't go off the edge onto my desk. That's just extra cleanup then, isn't it? There we go. Oh, you saw it and fell in love with the stamp set, Chris? Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Maybe colouring might get a workout. Yes, awesome. Oh, the card was one of the extra ones that you purchased at Card Buffet. Okay, that you didn't make on the day. Oh, awesome. Yeah, definitely get it out, colour it, put the card together. It's a beautiful, beautiful stamp set. Oh, you've been watching your baby sailing at Malta at the moment, Malta and Sicily. Ah, so you're all over the shop with times at the moment. Okay, fair enough. Been up all hours of the night, have you? There we go. All right, so we'll just leave the middle as it is, the center as it is, and we'll just keep the colors like that. Now I also wanted to add some color to the designer series paper, because now if I put that on there, see how it's, the designer series paper is so stark white in contrast to this piece that we've colored. So we're going to add some ink to that as well. Again, we're just using the crumb cake, and we're just going to ink all over to just soften that white a little bit and just ink distress that. Very guilty as stated, Chris. You're probably keeping similar hours to my normal hours. I'm always up late. Oh, it's all good. I hope he's going well with his racing, with his sailing racing. Oh, I just saw your comment about Callie. Yeah, thanks for answering that, Amber. Sorry, Chris, I missed that. I just saw when Amber answered and I'm like, oh, what's she answering to? I missed something. Yeah, no, she's been good. There we go. All right, so added a little bit of color to that now. So that's not a stark white now. So see, that's gonna go so much more beautifully now. Now, if you wanted to, I'm not going to do it today because I need to be quick today, but if you wanted to, you could scissor distress the edges of your wood paper. You could scissor distress the edges of your DSP. You can scissor distress all of it if you want to, and often that's what I will do when I'm doing a vintage or a rustic style. This isn't vintage though, this is rustic. I would do that if I was, yeah, normally doing a rustic style card, but I'm not today because you know what? I need to be quick today, and this paper is already beautiful and rustic looking as it is anyway, so it's not really necessary. Sometimes I just love doing the techniques. All right, so liquid glue is going to be your best friend when you are doing a full piece on a card front, because it gives you the opportunity of sliding that cardstock around till you get it. Oh wow, nearly bent my whole card. Until you get it lined up, and then once you've got it lined up, then you can press it down firmly. Okay, all right, I feel like I've got it just a little bit long there along the top. I might trim that off. I'll trim that off later, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to add our DSP, which we've ink distressed. I haven't scissor distressed it, I've just ink distressed it. You could scissor distress it though if you wanted to. You've probably all seen me do that before. Okay, a little bit of liquid glue. We're going to pop that in just a few millimeters from the edge, so we still see the wood along the edge there. And it's going all the way top to bottom. There we go. And then these two pieces are going to be, well, our image is going to then be layered onto a piece of Darling Duckling. So I'll use the glue again. And line that up. Whoops, got that a little bit wonky there. Oh, did I already push it too hard? Might have already pushed it. Oh no, there we go. Good. Okay. Oh, he's doing very well, Chris. Fantastic. That's so good to hear. All right, and then we're going to take some linen thread. This is our beautiful linen thread. This is such a lovely thread. I love using this, and it's very economical as well. Oh, we've still got to do our sentiment yet too, but we'll do this part first. So we're just going to wrap that around 1, 2, 3, and then we'll cut a length. And we're going to tie that off. Now, here's a little tip for you. When you're tying your thread, You can do this with your ribbon as well. Get your knot, and then, oh, you know what? I can't do it today because I don't have it in here. My reverse grip tweezers, they're actually out in the, oh wait, do I have the old ones? Wait, I used to have an old pair, but I don't know if they're in here. I feel like they are also out in the studio. My reverse grip tweezers are great for holding the twine while you're trying to tie a bow. Hang on a sec. I'll see if I've got the other old ones. No, can't find them. I've got my Stampin' Up ones, and then I've got an old pair, and then I've got an old pair. I can't find any of them. So I'm just going to have to wing it and hope for the best. Because, you know, sometimes the twine can get away from you when you're trying to tie a bow. So the reverse grip tweezers are great to use to hold that knot while you tie it. There we go. That's not too bad. Oh no, it is. It's very loose. Ah, okay. Let's start again. Make sure I've got that nice and tight. Get the end and hold my finger there. Did I get it that time? I think I got it better that time. There we go. All right. So then if you haven't got your bow right in the right spot, we can then just tweak it a little. Okay, I'm going to move the whole thing over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bow my card just slightly, grab the whole thing where I've knotted it and give it a little wiggle and slide the whole thing over. There we go. And then I can just reposition those individual threads. Get that positioned where I want it. There we go. And then trim up the ends. And then with the very ends, I'm going to unravel them. So I'm actually just twisting the fibers in the opposite direction to just separate the fibers and then rough up the ends with my fingers to just give a little bit more texture. Chris says, I must say your card buffet had awesome choices of cards. I just had to be guilty and buy the lot. No, I love it. That's great. I did just a walkthrough. Of your videos. They're all gorgeous. Oh, thanks, Chris. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the card buffet. And thank you for that lovely feedback. I'm glad that you loved the projects as well. There we go. All right, so that is ready now to mount on our card. So we're going to mount that up on Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's grab our dimensionals. Oh, got a brand new sheet today. It's always exciting to start a brand new sheet of dimensionals. Grab my pokey pokey tool on my take your pick tool. There we go. So you'll notice on my dimensionals that I've got the black lines. I draw them on with a Sharpie marker, and it helps me to see if I've removed the backings or not when I've put them on my projects, because otherwise when they're just white, sometimes it's hard to tell if I've taken the backing off or not. All right, now I've only got a small gap down here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my mini dimensionals and I'm going to pop them down on, make a bottom row in the minis so that they can just fit underneath the twine there, but they're the same height as the big ones. Then we're going to remove all of these. So I like to stab the back of them, especially with the large ones. Sometimes with the mini ones I remove them with my fingernails, but with the large ones I like to stab them with my take your pick tool to remove them. There we go. And then we're going to pop that on our card. Now you can choose where to position this on the card if you want to center it, if you want to put it off center, over to the side. It depends on how you want to position it. I'm going to position it just slightly more to the, well, actually, let's see. Where do I want it? No, I think I'll put it fairly well in the middle. It's going to be a little bit off center because of that DSP there. I want to make sure that we still see some of that DSP. So I guess it is a little bit off to the right hand side. And about there. And then for our sentiment today, we are actually going to use something that I haven't used for a little while, and that's the Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera. Did you all know that we have that? So there's lots and lots of different sentiments in here. And this isn't a full pack because I think I had a couple of partial packs that let me just move my pencils out the way for a sec. Put them back in my pencil tin. Yeah, so we're going to use one of these sentiments today. And you've got some white sentiments on black backgrounds and black on white backgrounds. And there is a whole heap of different sentiments. You've even got some Christmas ones on here as well. But lots of great sentiments for lots of different occasions. And yeah, there's 6 sheets actually. So you get 2 of 3 different designs in the pack. And I'm thinking I need some more birthday cards actually. So let's see if I can find a good birthday. We have a black one. I wonder what the black one would look like on there. Let's pop that out and have a look and see. It might be a bit too heavy, but we'll see. If not, then I'll see if there's a white one. I'm thinking the happy birthday. Oh, it wouldn't look bad actually. Could go across there. Well, let's see if there's a white one. Yeah, definitely needs to go across there somewhere. This is really great for those people who don't want to stamp their sentiments, or perhaps you don't have enough sentiment stamps that you, or maybe you don't have the right sentiment stamps for the projects that you need. So you can use these. There is birthday wishes or best wishes. That's a good one too. That can be used for birthday. So these aren't stickers. You do need to apply adhesive to them. Let's have a look and see what's on this one. We've got a very large happy birthday. That one's too big. That's a nice best wishes one too. Let's try that one as well. And then there's a little best wishes as well. So best wishes is good because I think it can be used for lots of different occasions. Let's see, what else have we got in the black and white ones? Thinking of you. Yeah, I think that's the only birthday one. So we could either use that black one, which doesn't look too bad, but then we've got these ones, and we can add colour to these. So we've got the best wishes. Actually, that one would sit really well just there, wouldn't it? That would sit really well. Oh, I like that. I like that one. I've got these little best wishes. That one would also go. And then this one could go across the can a little bit. I really like this one. I like this cursive one. Let's put a little bit of ink on this one and use that one, I think. But yeah, lots and lots of different sentiments. So if you're looking for them, it's the Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera. The code is 164862 if you're looking for them. All right, let's add a little bit of colour to this one now. We'll use the crumb cake again. Where did I put my, there it is. So we'll get rid of that stark white colour and we'll just ink distress that. See, this is how we can alter any of our pieces. We can alter any of the ephemera pieces. You can alter your designer series paper just with using ink and yeah, changing it to the colours that you want it to be, that you need it to be for your projects. How is that now? Beautiful. that will be perfect. I might even make that just a little bit darker. Do get a little bit inky on your fingers though, but you can use tweezers to hold it if you don't want to get inky fingers. But what do they say about inky fingers? It's the telltale of a happy crafter or something like that. Isn't that what they say? Beautiful, look at that, perfect. And now you would never know that that used to be white. Oh, actually, you know what I'm going to do as well, which I could have done with the others and with the other layers, and I didn't, but go around the edges. I usually do this with a sponge dauber. Actually, do I have a dauber in there? I do. There's one. I did have one in there. Go around the edges of my sentiments. You all know I love to do that. Can be a bit hard to get into those little nooks and crannies though sometimes. There we go. Beautiful. Just add a little bit more. Just there. There we go. Gorgeous. And we'll pop that one up on dimensionals too. And we're going to add some bling as well. Do you know what? Guess what? I had already punched some out that I was thinking about using, and guess what? It was the same ones that I've just been playing with. And that was one of the ones that, yeah, that was the one I chose. So there you go. It's good to know that my brain was on the right track with where I was before, but I just forgot where I was before. Does that make sense? Oh dear. Sometimes there's too many things in our brain, isn't there? Too many things that we're thinking of. Too many things that keep us up at night. That's been me lately. Not sleeping well. Too many things in my brain. All right, there we go. Okay, let's pop our best wishes down here. Might just bring that in a little bit so that it's sort of overlapping just slightly. Overlapping the leaves just slightly. Might go up a little bit higher above those apples. Let those apples have their little space down there. How does that look there? Good. All right, and then we're going to add some of the beautiful loose gold sequins. Fantastic embellishment. Again, very affordable because you get so many in there. There's hundreds of them in there. It only tells you how many, what the volume is. It's 7.5 grams, and there's 3 different sizes: 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters, 6 millimeters. But like, there's hundreds and hundreds in there. So we're going to add some of these. Let's work out. Well, wait. We'll use the other end of our take your pick tool, the putty end. This one is great for picking up your sequins. So let's just work out. Whoops, that's a large one. I think I might want the medium-sized ones and the small ones for this project. Let's see. Actually, you might want a little one here. Yep, beautiful. I think 3 will do it. You can add as many as you want though with these. Look how many there are. These are also great for shaker cards, the loose gold sequins. All right, now they don't have adhesive on them, so this is how I find the best way to add the adhesive. Just do a little tiny squeeze with your glue and then release the pressure again so you don't get too big a blob of glue on the back because it will ooze. Okay, so you just need a little dab and then pop it down. I use my nail with my other hand, but if you've got another pokey tool, or you could even use your snips just to hold that down as you release it. And we'll do the same with this. Probably not a good idea to hold the glue over your project as you do this. Release, get that in the right spot, and then I like to use the other end with the lid on to just hold that there, and then we'll put another one down here. Release that off the putty. The putty can be quite sticky sometimes. There we go. So when you're using your embellishments, it's always great to use an uneven number. Oh, look what I just did. Wrong lid. So either 3, 5, or 7. I wouldn't probably use 9, but that's overkill. That's a lot. But there you go. So what do you think? That turned out really beautiful, didn't it? So let's have a look at our 3 different samples now. And I'll bring in the class one as well. There you go, using the 3 different stamps from the stamp set. Hang on, let's put today's one in the middle, hey? There we go. What do you think? Isn't it a beautiful stamp set? So gorgeous. And look how different they look as well. Like they're all using basically the same products. This one I've just used an embossing folder instead of the wood designer series paper. But look how different they all look. And they're all beautiful. So this one, this stamp set, the Rustic Centrepiece, I can highly, highly recommend. So look it up in the online store. The code, if you're looking for it, grab your pens. I'm going to give you the code for it. Okay, are you ready? 166186. That's 166186. Check it out in the online store. Pop it in your cart, in your next cart. It's a really, really beautiful stamp set. So there you go. Oh, thanks so much, Leslie. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, really, really beautiful. And the hero of the card really is that colored design, that stamped image. So you don't need too much in the background. Just pop it on. If you don't have these dies, you could just cut a rectangle and then just mat it on another color to sort of give it a bit of a lift off the background. Pop it on some dimensionals, and yeah. And if you don't have, I mean, we've all got DSP. I was going to say if you don't have DSP, but that's crazy to say that, isn't it? Because everyone has DSP. All right, I'm going to tip the camera back up. Bear with me one moment. Here we go. All right. There we go. Well, let's just adjust that camera. Alrighty. So here's an up close picture. You'll see it back to front now though. That's the only thing. I'll take my glasses off. They're reflecting in the light. There you go. Isn't it just such a beautiful stamp set? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And look, my earrings match. My brooch matches. I'm all matchy-matchy today. Oh, my brooch is twisted. There we go. So, yeah. And if still twisted, there we go. There we go. Now we've got it right. So that is another beautiful product that you can add to your starter kit if you haven't joined yet. So this is a great one to add to your starter kit. And you could add in the watercolor pencils as well. And maybe some blending brushes, some ink. Yeah. I used the 2 different color inks, Early Espresso and Crumb Cake. These are great. These 2 are probably our most used 2 colors for, actually probably our most 2 colors. Of all of the colors that we have, these are the 2 that we use the most. Amber and I, both. Yeah. So these 2 are great to have in your stash. So, yay! I hope you enjoyed that. Now remember too, that we have got the special at the moment. If you aren't yet part of the Stampin' Up community and you'd like to come and join us and get a great discount, it's only $60 to join, and you get to choose $235 of product of your own choice to put in your starter kit. and then you're guaranteed of a 20% discount till at least April next year. So how awesome is that? You can get a discount on all of your Stampin' Up products. So come and join us. I'd love to have you come and join my team. If you would like more information, please feel free to let me know. In the links that I popped in the comments before and in the description of my YouTube video, there is actually a join link there too. So you can click on join my team, and you can come and join us and get a beautiful discount and all those fantastic freebies as well in your starter kit. So very exciting, very exciting. We've already welcomed quite a number of new team members this month. It's been really exciting to welcome everybody in. I've lost track of how many we're up to. 11, I think, in the whole team. I think we're up to about 11 that we've welcomed already this year, or is it 12? I've lost I mean, not this year, this month, just this month. So it's been very, very exciting. So feel free to come and join us. And if you've been a demonstrator before and you would like to rejoin, you're welcome to come and rejoin with us as well. So yeah, you're always welcome back. All right, well, I will love you and leave you. You do love this stamp set too, Dimity. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jenny. Not really. I'm not really that clever. It's just such an easy stamp set to work with. And it's just coloring with colored pencils, which anyone can do. So it's not really, but thank you. I appreciate the accolades, but yeah, it's just a really easy stamp set. Stampin' Up makes it easy for us. Thanks, Leslie. Glad you liked it. Glad you enjoyed that, everyone. Well, have a great week, everyone. I hope you get some crafting in there somewhere. I hope that you have a fantastic week, and I do look forward to seeing you all again next Monday at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Have a great week, everyone, and happy crafting. Bye. Oh, remember to register for my classes too. The registration closes on Friday. I forgot to mention that again. So I've got the 2 classes coming up. Check them out in my links. All right, catch you later. Bye.